Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. It is a much nicer day today, so I'll be working outside. I dug these 5 boxwood trees out of the front garden. They were growing as a pre-bonsai, and I didn't get time to plant them, so I put them in a bucket of water, and they've been sitting there for the last few days. So today I'm going to do some styling on the trees and get them planted as a forest. I'm thinking this plastic bin would be a good pot to plant the 5 boxwoods in. It does have some drainage holes in the bottom, and it's about the right size. It's always nice to get the forest planted and arranged early because the trees develop a relationship with each other. How the light falls on the branches and the design of the trees, they're all relative to each other. So I like to establish the forest, the basic shape and planting of the forest early, and that way you can refine it, and then eventually it goes into a nice bonsai pot. Boxwood trees or shrubs in nature don't really have a recognizable style. There are some examples of nice ones growing in nature, but I think I'm going to design these trees as sort of an imitator tree, designing the boxwoods to resemble another species of tree. I've seen boxwoods styled in about every conceivable form possible. Cascade style, upright deciduous tree style, coniferous style like a pine. So you can do anything you want with these. I'm going to look at the leaves and determine, well, what tree in nature kind of has these oval-shaped leaves, and maybe use that as a guide to what species I want to imitate. I'll get the largest tree out of the bucket of water, have a look at it, and maybe that'll help me determine a style for the tree and the entire forest. So here I go. They're all tangled up. So here's the largest of the boxwoods. To me, it kind of resembles an old oak tree. I think it has that kind of powerful trunk, that upright branch structure, lots of division. Old oaks get that rough bark on them, so I think styling it like an oak tree would be a pretty good form for this tree and the whole forest. Here's a look at the tree kind of close up. So you can see how the trunk is quite thick, and it comes up to that upright style and then into the canopy. So definitely, an upright style deciduous tree. And I think, kind of styling it like an oak will look pretty impressive. I'm going to start the pruning work now. So I've had a good look at the tree. And the first thing that strikes me as odd is there's a very, very thick branch here that comes and then it curves straight upwards. It doesn't flow outwards. And that really bothers me. Everything else kind of fans out nicely, except for that one branch. So I've got to prune that off, and I've got to determine where I want to prune it. I could prune it off here, see if anything develops kind of flowing outwards. If that doesn't take, then I can prune it back to this horizontal branch. There's another branch vertical on the inside here, but I don't think that's a suitable branch leader. So I'm going to chop the top of that branch off for starters. So here I go. I think right like this. So here I go. It's going to be tough. There we go. Oh, didn't quite cut through. There. So that branch comes out. Now, these will probably grow as cuttings. So I should plant them. What am I looking for here? There's a broken branch there. So yeah, even something that thick would probably root as a cutting. I'll just prune the dead part off at the top here. Prune the tops down a bit. Okay, so I'll keep all my cuttings to one side. I'll put them in the snow over here. Okay, so that's one problem. Now there's another branch here. It comes up and then it divides into basically three. And this one shoot is quite close to this other trunk, and I don't think I want that one. So I'm going to take that one off. It doesn't really flow outwards very well, so I'm going to take it off here. Like that. Now it looks better. Another cutting. So I'm just looking for kind of major flaws in the tree that bug me. Let's go around here. There's a lot of confusion happening here. I've got to prune out some of these shoots. They're growing at the base of some of these larger limbs. Now oaks do kind of backbud like that on older wood, but we still want it to look nice and flowing. You can see this one kind of crosses the trunk line, so I'll get rid of it. And these boxwoods don't scar over very easily from the wounds, so yeah, large wounds take a long time to heal. Okay, so I'm going around the tree now. There's that big branch I took off. Now I'm wondering, I'm looking at that big branch and I'm wondering if should I prune it off here and develop this as the leader. That would be nicer, and it gives some finer branching up top, keeping just the one kind of thick trunk line. I think that'd be a better solution. So off it comes, right back to here. I gotta get in there somehow. I may have to just rough prune it off and then come in and clean it up. So here I go. I'm going to take that big one off. There. Whew, tough wood. Another cutting. So now I got to get in there and clean this up to make it as flush as possible. I think that looks much better without that big thick branch there. Boxwoods are great trees for learning bonsai on. They have tons of branches to choose from, so you can come in and pick your best branches. Yeah, if you want to learn to prune a tree, pick up a boxwood and it'll give you all the branches to choose from, and you can kind of subtract until you get a really good looking tree out of it. Kind of like a juniper. Junipers are good for that too. So this wound's kind of on the inside, so it won't be, too noticeable. I think that's pretty good. So that's what it looks like. So yeah, you can hardly notice that wound. It's not bad. I do have a branch going right beside my strongest trunk line there. It's unusual, but not the worst branch in the world. So now I'm coming out to this back branch here. So this will be my trunk line up here. And now I've got this branch, which has a lot going on. Now it's kind of a back branch if this is the front of my tree up here. So I think I'll start there. If you look on the inside here, there's a branch kind of growing up the middle of the tree. I think I'll take that out. We'll take it off with the branch cutters. If I can get in there. I'll just rough cut it off first. Oh, no, I can get right in there, I think. And I'll still need a bit of cleanup. Another cutting. I have another low back branch here, which is fine, but I don't think I want this strong vertical part on it. So I'm going to keep these more horizontal branches. Take that vertical part right off. Like that. So, there's another branch on the inside here that's pointing in towards the center of the tree. I'll take that out. It's just a little one. Now there's another upright one here that I'm wondering if I need it or not. It's not bad. It's a little strong. I want this to be my focus, my trunk line here. It's a little strong, that one coming up here. Sort of competing with the main trunk line. I don't think I want, another trunk line coming this high. So I'm going to prune it away. Where is the question? Right back. Okay, so here I go. Just got to get in there. It's the trouble with these boxwoods, they're so congested. I'll have to take out a little bit of this growth here first so I can get my pruners in there. There, that clears that out a bit. And I'll rough cut it first. Here I go. Like that, and then I'll come in and clean it up. Nice. Okay, that looks good. So, from that branch, I have it dividing into 3 here. This one is definitely crowding this other branch out, so it has to go. So I'm taking this one off first. Like that. And then I've got 2, which is good. But I think I can get some taper. This one comes up. I could take off this part of it. So I will. That, and then I've got to reduce this other one back. I'm going to go right back to here. And this one's got to be reduced to here. Now, how is it looking? It's looking more tree-like, that's for sure. Some bit of a dead branch up here I'm going to remove. Wasn't getting any light up there. Okay, so I think this back branch is still a problem. I'm wondering, I could take it off here, develop these 2. I think I will. Like that. So now you can see it comes up, divides into 2. It's not quite so strong a branch. Now, let me have a look at the tree. Looking quite good. I've got a vertical section, 2 of them coming off of this branch that I've got to get rid of. They don't flow. I want everything to flow nicely. There's one off, and the other one will come off here, like that. So now I can remove all these vertical ones. Give some light to my other branches. Bring this one back. Another vertical one here. Another vertical one. That's looking better, that branch now. Part's broken. Okay. I don't know if I need that other vertical one. No, I don't. Okay, so that's got that branch tamed. Now I've got another one coming out the side here. There's a bit of a dead branch on here. I can take that out first. Like that. And this one's going too high too. So I've got a clump of foliage here that I can prune it back to. And I will. Like that. That reduces the height of that. I got a damaged branch up here. Okay, and then I'll take off the one on the inside there. And this one, well, could reduce the height of it. Let me see where to. Right back to here. And this one too. This one's got to be pruned back also to here. It's looking much better. Now I've got this branch coming up here, and it divides into 1, 2, 3, 4 branches. This one kind of crosses over, so I'm going to get rid of that. It's an awkward looking branch. And I guess I took out that other one too. I was going to do that anyway. Okay, that's looking better. And then take off this vertical part here. If I can get in here. Like that, making it a more horizontal branch, and same here. Bring this one back to here. Take off the vertical one. Clean up some of these inside branches. Okay. That branch is looking better. I come up here and I divide into 2, but then I've got 2 branches that I can get rid of. And that makes 4 in that area. I don't want 4. I'm going to take out the small one here and this one in here. It's just cluttering up that area of the tree. And this one. Okay, that's looking better. You can see my trunk lines a little more. This branch here, it comes up and then it divides from 1 into 1, 2, 3, 4 branches in that area. In this case, I think I want to get rid of the bottom one and create a bit of space between these 2 branches. So I'll take that one off. Doesn't flow the greatest anyway. And then I think this division into 2 is fine. There's a shoot coming straight up here I can take off. Cut this one back. Straight up here, take that one off. Cut that one back. That's looking better. Much nicer. Okay, there's a branch coming up the middle here that divides into 3 at one spot. I've got to reduce that back, and I think it's going to be this inside one. Comes off like that. It's looking good. I think it's getting quite a tree-like form to the boxwood. Taking out a dead stub there. So now I just got to sort out the structure of this upper canopy here. So here's one that's kind of pointing inside. Take that one out. Thin that out a bit. Take that off. Take this off. Getting too tall. Cutting the tree down in height a bit. It's getting way too tall. So this one could be pruned right back to here. This one could come off. Now, there's a branch coming up here that kind of weaves its way through all the other foliage here. Pretty sure I don't need that, so I'm going to take it off. That helps clean out the structure a bit. There's a branch kind of cutting across on the inside here. That's got to come out. So I'll take that one off. Like that. There's branches that are interfering here, so I'm going to take the one that interferes off, which is I think is going to be this upper one here on this branch. That'll help get a bit of taper and a bit of flow to that branch, horizontal flow. Like that. And then this one is also getting too tall, so I've got to prune it back like that. This one could be pruned back. Prune back. Let's take some vertical ones off here. Yeah, looking better. So the overall height of the tree is still too tall, so I need to do a bit of profile pruning up here. Just kind of hedge pruning like you'd do with a boxwood hedge, just to get the height reduced a bit. Like that. Might even have to be reduced more. I think so. To there. I think I'm getting down to the bare essentials of the tree. I mean, there'll be more pruning in the future, but that's what it's looking like. It's looking like an oak tree to me. It's getting there anyway. Still lots of little shoots to prune in that, but I think it's got the basic form, the size of the tree. I think that can be planted. And then, you know, as it recovers, I can do more branch selection and styling on it in future. But yeah, I think that's got the main tree pruned quite nicely. Good looking tree. I've got the largest boxwood pruned up now, kind of like an oak tree style. I think it looks quite nice. Now I've got 4 more trees to prune up, so I'll kind of copy the structure, that upright structure, so there'll be like miniature versions of this tree. I've got all 5 of my boxwoods pruned up, ready to plant. I like that main tree so much, I think I want a better pot than the plastic training pot. I think it'll look really nice when it's planted, so I'm going to look around and see if I can find a nice pot that I can plant this forest in. I couldn't find any really nice pots, so I did find this seed tray. It's made of the really durable plastic. I think it's a better size than that big square red plastic tray. This doesn't have any drainage holes in it, so I'll have to drill some in, and then I'll get the forest planted in this seed tray. I've got my Milwaukee drill out, so I can drill some holes in the bottom. So here I go. So I think maybe at all these subdivisions here. And there we go. I think that's enough holes. That looks good. Lots of drainage. Still nice and tough, the tray. All right, I'm going to get some drainage screen cut. I'll just put strips across the holes. So, here I go. Here. And then my leftover bits can go for the end holes, except they all disappeared on me. Here they are. There. All the holes are covered with screen. So now I can get a base layer of soil in the pot. All right, in goes my base layer of soil. My plan for the forest is to put the largest tree about 1/3 of the way into the pot here, the second largest tree on this side of it, and then the other trees tapering off, so kind of creating that asymmetrical triangular profile. And then I'll vary the distances, you know, towards the front of the pot. So the largest tree will be towards the front of the pot and the others will kind of taper off into the distance. I'm going to try that, see how it looks. So here's my largest tree, and I'm going to plant the planting as if I'm looking at the front of the pot. So you'll be seeing the back of it until the big reveal. Now there's just a few more roots I could prune off a little shorter here, just to get it down in the pot a little more. I think like that. How's that planting height? That's quite good. So if that tree can go about here towards the front of the pot, like that. And then my second largest one, which, you know, isn't really that large. That one's crooked. Maybe I'll do the straight one on the side here. Back behind. Like that. And then I've got the one that kind of bit of an angle. I could have that one maybe here. That bizarre one. Not such a good arrangement. Everything looks too evenly spaced. think these need to be more of a clump. And this one needs to be moved over more. I think that's better. It's a little random. These are kind of bizarre looking trees, so I think putting them together more tightly is better than having them by themselves. It looks more like kind of a clump of small trees, because they don't look like majestic old trees, that's for sure. So maybe something like that. I think so. And, you know, throughout the year, the summer ahead, you can study the design and maybe come up with ways of improving the overall composition. But I think that's not bad. I wonder if I should switch these trees. Have this one kind of fanning out from the main tree a bit. Yeah, I think so. That looks better. Huh. Don't plant it upside down. And then no. It's not bad like that. I think I'll try it like this. I think it's not bad. I like the main tree there. I'll fill that in first. Just gonna double check my roots are raked out. Yeah, they're not bad. Okay. Okay, I'll start filling in the soil now. In between the trees, filling it in with soil. So boxwoods like a free draining soil, so they should do well in bonsai soil. And you have to water them fairly frequently. So they don't dry out in this kind of soil. And they should do quite well. Especially if I pamper them. Give them everything they need. I think that's going to do it for the soil. I think it's at a good level, a good height. All right, I'll show you what the front of the planting looks like now. Here's a look at the planting from the front. I think it looks quite good. I think the tree on this side, the height needs to be reduced so it's not interfering with this branch in the front view. So I'll do that. I'll cut it down in height a bit. That looks much better. I think that looks good. I think it creates a sense of perspective. You got the large tree up front and the smaller trees to the back. Yeah, all right, let's water the planting. All right, here I go with the water. Give it a good soaking. Water the trees. Let's fly in now and have a look at the forest planting. I'm going to place the new boxwood forest in the unheated greenhouse, the poly house. It'll stay nice and warm in the daytime, and at nighttime it's protected from the frost and the cold just a little bit. Well, the boxwood forest is in its new home. Here it is, right here. Yeah, I'm very happy with the main tree. Lots more work to come on it, but certainly a good start. If it lives, makes it through that transition from the front garden to a bonsai pot, I'll be very, very happy. And then I can work on the styling far into the future. It's a balmy 6 degrees above freezing now. Nice to get outside once again after all that snow we got. I really enjoy putting these forest plantings together, and it was fun putting together the boxwood forest. And that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.